All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to our Tuesday morning Inner Circle live session with the Forex Trader. I'm your host, Ryan Carthage. We'll be joined shortly by my awesome partners, Mr. Benny Allen and Miss Casey Jackson. Again, I hope everybody is doing well today, this beautiful Tuesday morning here in Michigan. So we got a lot to catch up on. Some movement has happened in the markets. Some things we looked at over the weekend starting to play out. But we'll take a look at some fundamentals, get caught up there. Then we'll drop in and we'll get an overview of the market and see where things are. All right. So as always, let's turn off all distractions, prepare your minds and your bodies to engage, as you guys always do. And for the courtesy of everybody on the call, please ensure that your mic is muted if you're not actively asking a question or making a comment. All right. So let's get to it. I'll switch over here to trading economics. And headliner, UK jobless rate lowest since 1974. Unemployment rate in the UK edged down to 3.7 in Q1 of 2022, the lowest reading since 1974 and below the 3.8 in its previous period, and a forecast of 3.8. For the first time since records began, there are fewer unemployed people, 1.257 million, than job vacancies, which reached a new record of 1.295 million. Also, the employment rate increased by 1%. 0.1 percentage point to 75.75%, driven by the movement of people from unemployment to employment. But there was also a record high movement of people from economic inactivity into employment. Meanwhile, real wage growth for regular pay was 1.9% lower than a year ago in March, the biggest fall since Q3 of 2013, as high inflationary pressures continue to hurt consumers' purchasing power. The most timely estimate of payroll employees for April 2022 shows a monthly increase of 121,000 to a record 29.5 million, right? So we got more people employed, right? However, purchasing power continues to decrease due to inflation. All right. So keep eyes on that from the UK. That isn't what I wanted. We have some things on oil. That article flipped away. Let's see. Where'd the article go? So we've had oil pressing higher. As Europe continues to fight for this oil embargo. However, Hungary is vetoing the deal. So in the UK, have to have unanimous decision, right? Everybody, all of the European nations have to agree that agree to the oil embargo in order for them to be able to move forward with it. And Hungary is saying no. Hungary is saying no. Here we go. Oil steadies. But so Hungary is saying no. So they're continuing to try to figure out how they can get Hungary on board. Which they're getting closer to this oil embargo, which investors are watching, which is pushing oil higher, right? You got some conflicting articles, but saying that some of the key cities in China their COVID cases are starting to come down and things are starting to ease up from a COVID perspective, which China is one of the largest countries for demand in oil use. So that impacts the market as well. So things easing up in China, and in Europe, things are getting a little tight, right? So WTI crude futures held around $114 per barrel on Tuesday after rising for more than 4 straight days to its highest close since March 23rd, as traders track development around the proposed EU ban on Russian oil, a move that would tighten global supply further. On Monday, EU foreign minister failed to pressure Hungary to lift its veto of the proposed oil embargo on Russia, with Lithuania saying the bloc was being held hostage by one member state. The U.S. oil benchmark has also been rising at its fastest pace than Brent in recent sessions, as U.S. gas prices surged to record highs on rising demand coupled with restrained refinery capacity. Okay. U.S. producers are ramping up production in order to replenish inventories that have dwindled in the wake of Russia's war in Ukraine. Meanwhile, latest data pointed toward lower demand for the world's second largest economy. So this article varies from an article I read a little while ago. But second largest economy in China, processing 11% less crude oil in April than a year ago due to COVID lockdown. So in April, they produced less oil than last year. Definitely see that changing in the coming months as their COVID restrictions start to ease. Right. But so oil pushing to the upside as we anticipated. Benny posted one of these articles or this article along with a chart in the Facebook group yesterday. Right. So oil is moving as we anticipated. All right. So that is that. Let's go back to these news articles really quickly. And let's see, there was one on the dollar as well. U.S. stock futures edge higher on Tuesday following another volatile session on Wall Street as concerns about rising interest rates, high inflation, and the prospect of global economic slowdown continue to weigh on sentiment. Future contracts tied to the 3 major indexes were all trading in positive territory in regular trading on Monday. The Dow eked out a 0.8% gain, pushed higher by Chevron United Health. Meanwhile, S&P erased intraday gains to end 3.9% lower, while the tech-heavy NASDAQ composite underperformed with a 1.2% loss. Analysts note that the recent market rout has been due largely to tightening monetary conditions, which is a complete turnaround from the low interest rate environment investors enjoyed during the pandemic. Growth-oriented technology, consumer cyclical and communication services stocks led the decline. Investors now await retail sales and industrial production numbers on Tuesday, along with a slew of retail earnings, right? So investors are watching inflation, interest rates, right? And potential economic slowdown. So on this economic slowdown, we'll just over to this war in Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine is in the process of pulling their troops out of one of the key port cities. I believe it's Mariupol. And this is a city that has a lot of export and import out of it. And Russia's on the brink of completely taking over that city. As they continue to move forward, there are a lot of concerns about this because Ukraine is a large exporter of things. Seeds, oil, and grain, things of that nature coming out of the Ukraine, and they're not able to get these sunflower seeds. That's what it is. Sunflower seeds and sunflower oil two of the bigger exports, and they're not able to get these things out, right? Along with the already tight shipping constraints that we've seen, this is adding to that, right? They're not able to export these things out of the country and get them to other places around the world. So that's also adding to this conversation about economic slowdown. Also, there's conversation about food shortage due to grain, cereal, I said oils not being able to be shipped out to other parts of the world because of these ports are starting to get tied up. There are other ports out of Ukraine. However, the producers aren't able to get to those ports. So that's going to be a continued conversation as we move forward when it comes to things starting to come up short, right? As Ukraine is not able to ship their things out on top of the already rising or the continued shipping constraints. Also, in these areas, the shipping insurance is also increasing. So last year we saw a major increase in shipping costs, right? Like 10, 12x on shipping costs. Now the shipping insurance is also increasing, which is going to increase those prices even further, which is going to continue to make these shipments even more difficult to obtain, because it's going to get to a point where folks aren't able to either they're not going to be able to foot the bill, or prices are going to continue to rise on our side, right? Cost of goods will continue to increase, right? So there are some concerns in regards to inflation, which we'll take a look at the Bank of England in England getting to above 10%, right? So there are lots of concerns as this war continues to press on. Shipping constraints and food shortages are part of the conversation now, along with oil and other things. So we'll continue to watch this as it continues to move forward. But some very interesting things are continuing to develop as we move through, which will impact Fed decisions, interest rates, and how the world deals with inflation and food shortage, right? So that is that. Benny, good morning, bro.
Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, everybody.
How you doing this morning, man?
Man, I'm doing pretty good.
That's
Doing pretty
awesome.
good. Just watching some of the overnight news. It looks like we got, the Aussie, New Zealand dollar. A lot of these pairs are sitting at like multi-year lows, man. So some of them are starting to find
Yeah,
the floor and take off a bit. But just continuing to watch it. Just really paying attention to the technical levels. The
yeah,
fundamentals are what they are, right? You're doing a great job covering them. But we're starting to see some reaction off of some of these lows. So just continue to watch it. Trade what we see.
absolutely, man.
Everything's still holding. Within the Fibonacci sequence, right? Nothing crazy when it comes to that. It hasn't been a drastic shift. Between when you look at, hey, the market moves in waves. That's exactly what it's doing. Especially coming off these lows.
That's exactly what it's doing. Yeah, 100%. And everything's just falling right in line, even with the reports and things like that. So, like you said, from the technical side, is definitely sitting there. I'm gonna take a look at some.
Yep.
Appreciate you, bro. All right, so let's hop over to Forex Factory really quickly. Yesterday we had some monetary policy hearings, right, from the Bank of England and Australia. From the Bank of England, I'll just give you guys the highlight here. Bank of England chief warns apocalyptic food and energy prices are coming. Governor of the Bank of England has warned there's a very real income shock coming for energy prices, apocalyptic food prices, but stood by the bank's policy decision. Andrew Bailey said he felt helpless as he defended the Bank of England's monetary policy, despite households being battered by soaring inflation. Mr. Bailey told MPs that Treasury's selected committee on Monday that UK consumer demand will be impacted by current inflation, which is the highest in 30 years. And this is expected to cause higher unemployment. Right, Governor Bailey has concerns, has some major concerns about where they are and what the future holds, but stands by the decision so far, right? These are some strong words. So we'll continue to watch that there. But he stood by the policy decision, and they have another rate decision coming up next month. And then for the Australian dollar, inflation has risen further in recent months, and in many advanced economies was higher than it had been in several decades. The strong recovery in global demand, ongoing disruptions of global supply chains, and increase in commodity prices following Russia's invasion of Ukraine had contributed to inflation significantly exceeding earlier forecasts and being well above central bank's targets. As a result, the central bank has hastened to the pace at which they were withdrawing policy accommodations. So this is going to be something to see how investors take in as we move throughout the week. If the Reserve Bank of Australia starts to shift their tone a little bit in regards to where they are from a policy perspective, that could also shift the Aussie as well, right? So that's the fundamental side of it. Let's go back to the calendar. Later on today, we have FOMC member Bullard speaking at 8 o'clock. We have core retail sales for the United States at 8:30. At 1 o'clock, Fed Chair Powell will be, 2 o'clock, Fed Chair Powell will be speaking. At 1 o'clock, President Lagarde from the ECB will be speaking. Tonight, we have wage prices for the Australian dollar. Tomorrow morning, 2 a.m., CPI news out of Great Britain, of Bank of England. Then we have Canadian CPI coming at 8:30 on Wednesday. Wednesday night, employment and unemployment rate for the Australian dollar. And then parliamentary elections in Australia on Friday, right? With some retail sales numbers coming for the pound, right? So that's just an overview of the calendar, things to keep your eyes on as we move through the week, all right? From a risk on, risk off perspective, the VIX's dropped a little bit, right? We're sitting below 20 at 18.39. So in somewhat of a risk on environment for the time being, okay? We'll continue to watch monitor how the week goes, all right? So let's dive into some charts. All right, let's start with the Aussie CAD.
Hey, Ryan.
Yo.
Hey, just to reiterate what you were saying, guys, that retail sales number is going to be very important. And that's coming up.
Yeah.
That's going to be an important number. And then that the Lagarde speaking, is important too. As the Eurozone, they're facing pressure, right? The ECB is facing pressure. There's more and more officials, right? Central bank officials for the ECB putting pressure on, saying, "Hey, we need to be more hawkish. We need to do something." So
yeah,
her speaking today is going to be very, very important. So that's very, very important to watch out and see what the notes that come out of that meeting. And then, like I said, also that retail sales number, as a lot of people are trying to find relief from the US dollar. When's the dollar going to correct? So that's going to be key today. So and I hope everybody, especially our new people, we see the importance of the fundamentals. The most important thing that you can get every week from us is that the fundamental analysis memo that we send out. Fundamentals help you kind of determine exactly which direction the market should be moving on certain pairs before you even look at the technicals. That's where the edge is.
Absolutely,
is in the fundamentals. So this is really nothing to just glance over or say I don't understand it. You want to gain an understanding of it. because this is ultimately what serves as the catalyst for the market, for the price action that you see on your technical charts. So this is really something that you want to get down moving forward, and to gain an understanding of how important a lot of these reports are. Watching these central banks, make their moves and their decisions, and paying attention to their forward guidance in regards to policy. So I hope this is something that everybody is starting to, if you're not already, take serious, because this is the edge in the market. So
yeah, for sure. It definitely is. Definitely is. There's always going to be a catalyst, right? There's always going to be a catalyst when moves happen. So Benny puts that report together, and we get it out just about every weekend, right? With updates and changes and forward guidance on what's coming. So definitely big to read that. If you have not, definitely suggest going back and take a look at that. Inside of the community, you can take a look at that report that Benny puts out. All right. Before we do the Aussie CAD, we're going to take a look at the dollar. So let's pop back to the daily time frame. Okay, clean this up a little bit. Starting to get a little bit of a retracement right now. Let's reset. Starting to get a little bit of a retracement right now. Here we go. All right. There we go. All right. So this is our fib on the daily time frame, right? We got the shallow retracement, price pushed up just shy of that 118 level, and just shy of this monthly resistance level. And now we're starting to get this retracement. Okay. We had this nice strong break of this daily resistance level here, right? Coming from right here. Created a new high, and we created a second high here. So we got this nice retracement coming, right? See how this daily level holds. Okay. See if this is just a retest of that daily level. And then do we get a bounce off the daily level in conjunction with the trend line to continue to press higher, right? Like Benny said, folks are trying to see when we get a pullback on the dollar, right? When we get a pullback on a dollar from a daily perspective, it's trying to make that happen now, but we got to see how this daily level holds. Okay. So that's what we'll keep our eyes on from a daily perspective, right? If this candle closes lower, we'll have a new swing high, right? From a daily perspective, and then we'll see how price responds at this daily support. Okay. So as we drop down through the time frames, get to the 4. Okay. Come back. Nope. Come back to the low and drop our fib. That's not it. Whoops. Here we go. Let's see. There we go. All right, so drop our fib. And this is our AB boundary on the 4. Okay. So here we had shallow retracement, price to the push to the 118 and 127 level, started to turn over and press down. Okay. So it's just a more detailed look at that retracement that we saw on the daily time frame. Okay. So we got this trend line in conjunction with this daily level that we're going to want to watch to see. If we get a break below that, then we could see a deeper retracement. But if we get a rejection off of that, we could see price continue to rise. Okay. Track down to the 1. All right. That original look that we saw is here. Okay. On the 1, we had this nice shallow retracement of 118 and 127 play, and now price is pushing deeper. Okay. This daily support level comes in conjunction with this 618 retracement. right? 618, 786, right into our sweet spot. So this is going to be a key level for us to keep our eyes on as we move through the day and through the week, right? As we come into this level to see if we get a break and a push further or rejection and continue higher, right? To get to the 1 hour D extension there and potentially push higher into those 4 hour and daily fibs. Okay, so that's what we're watching. That's the dollar. We're getting a retracement right now. We'll see how things continue to play out throughout the week. Okay, take a look at oil. Oil continues to barrel higher, right? So we know we had been in this range for a while, right? Just bouncing between this monthly and this daily support. But also what we continue to get is these nice rejections off of the trend line as we're moving higher and making these higher lows. Okay, so push through this previous consolidation. Now we're moving to the top of the range here. Okay, shallow retracement, price is trying to push higher, right? And this is on the 1 hour time frame. But we've talked about for a long time, we're looking at the potential for oil getting up to this 150 and ultimately over $200 over the long term. So we got a nice deep retracement here, right? 8-6 retracement, been waiting on this push. Now we're starting to get it, right? So now we're in the up push zone. We're in a down up retracement zone previously in this consolidation. Now we're moving to this up push zone, right? Rejection off the trend line, which we were anticipating. And now we're getting this push. So the matching extension is here at 136.80, okay? Before we get a new fib. We want to see how price responds at this this monthly resistance level that it's in right now. I also have a daily level here as well, right? And then we'll push up to the weekly. So we'll see how things respond, but nice push to the upside, right? This is our next target. This 136 level. Okay. Change that to green. That's our next target there. Okay, so let's move down to the 4. Move down to the 4. Pull these on. And let's come back and drop our fib from the low. Okay. That's where we sit. So on the 4 hour, right, we're going to start to get our range played out, right? So this green line is our daily 118 level, right? This red line here is our 4 hour matching D extension, okay? Green is the daily D extension. Red is the 4 hour D extension. So this is the 118 level on the daily, and then this is the 4. So this is our next level that we're going to keep our eyes on, right? From a higher time frame perspective, right in the same zone, right? Right in the same zone. Actually, no, I take that back. I apologize. 786 is the level here on the 4. My apologies. We got a 786 touch here. So on the 4, this is the level. So the top of the range, this weekly resistance level, right? It'll be the next area that we watch before we get to that daily matching D extension. Okay. So we're looking at here on the 4. Here on the 4. Okay. Right. So this is that zone. This is that zone. Okay. So we'll see how price responds once we approach this higher level. But price is on the rise to the upside. Yeah, we'll likely get some pullbacks in between. But overall, we're pushing to the upside, heading to these higher or mid $100 levels for WTI. Okay. So that's the 4. We'll keep that zone there. We'll drop to the 1.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So the key on what you just said, right, is that the direction is right.
The direction is right.
The direction is right. You could be.
Ben, you sound a little muffled.
Oh, my bad. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yep. So you could be, you might not be the best at your entries, but if you could get your direction right, and you're using proper risk management, you can see how if you be patient, okay, if you stay patient, then the price action will move in your direction. But you have to be patient. You have to use proper risk management. Give the trade room to breathe, and let the market work.
That's it. Proper risk management, patience, right? And if you get the direction right, things will play out. Most people struggle. You hear Benny say this all the time. Most people struggle with getting the direction right. Right? So that's the first thing, is getting the direction right. Okay. And then, like you said, as long as you have your risk management in place, right? You got to then work on that mental side of the game to develop the patience to allow the market to do what it does. Okay. You got to allow it to do what it does. 100% agree, bro. 100% agree. And that's where we sit. All right. So sitting in this monthly resistance level, right? This next level of this range here, we got a shallow retracement. 118 and 127 is outside this daily level. If we get to this 1618 extension, that's right in line with the 4-hour D extension here, right in the bottom of that daily and 4-hour range. Okay, so looking for price to continue to rise. We could see some continued back and forth as Europe battles with Hungary to get them on board with this oil embargo. Currently, Hungary is the one piece to the puzzle that they're missing to put this oil embargo on Russia. All right, so that's oil. Continue to push to the upside. Any questions on oil?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Desi,
Yes, sir.
you in this move to the upside?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
I'm also watching the weekly fib because there's a new fib on the weekly also.
On the weekly,
Mm-hmm.
let's pop out and take a look. Let's see. Oh, okay. Ooh. Yep. You talking about this fib here?
Yeah.
Okay. 50% retracement, matching extension, 171.
Yeah. That's where I have my eye.
Okay. I'm with it. And that's what we've been talking about, right? Desi's been watching these higher levels. And we've been eyeing, right, 147, 150. Now we're looking at this 170 number. All right. Thanks for that heads up, Desi. That's what we're gonna keep our eyes on.
Welcome.
Keep our eyes on it. All right. So that's oil, everybody. That's oil. All right, let's take a look. Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD from let's go here. Weekly, right? We talk about this pushing down into this weekly support level, right? Closed last week, down. Okay. So look for a reaction out of here for potential retracement. Okay. Come to the daily perspective, active AB boundary here. Didn't get a 38 to retracement out of this. Shallow retracement, pushed down, pushed through the 118, 127 zone right to that weekly level. And now we're getting this push back to the upside. Okay. So now we got price sitting at this daily level. We'll see if we get this continuation and price to continue to rise, right? If we get a strong break, we could see price press further. Okay. So that's from a daily perspective. From a daily perspective. Okay. So as we go down through the time frames to the 4, we'll see what that push to the upside looks like. Just that trend line there. Okay. So that's the trend line coming down through the lowest, through the previous lowest point, but we had consolidation. So this trend line would have been adjusted out to the outside like that. Right. And this is our push. We got new AB boundary, consolidation at this key level. And now we're getting this push back to the upside. Right. Now we're getting this push back to the upside. So we want to continue to monitor this, right, as it moves. But off the trend line break, we're up 68 pips, 38.2 on the 4 is 99. Excuse me. So another 30 pips to the upside against this next daily level, and at least that 38.2 level, which we like to see price get to. Okay. Excuse me. So that's from the 4-hour perspective. Drop down to the 1. And this is what we look like. All right. Trend line break and price is moving. Price is moving, sitting at a 50% retracement right now in this daily level. Right. And we'll see how price continues to track as it pushes higher. Right. Remember, if we get a deep retracement on the 4, right, up to these higher levels in this outer trend line, we could likely, right, if that happens, we're going to take out that A. Okay. So continue to monitor price as it pushes. If we get a deep retracement on the 4, it's going to take out that A. We're going to have new fibs running to the upside. Okay. So we'll continue to monitor that there. But that's the Aussie CAD moving to the upside, right, from this 1 hour. If we took it from the low, it's 98 pips. If we took it from the trend line break, right, that's 49. If you took it off that little pullback there. Okay. But moving in our favor as we anticipated. Okay. Any questions on the Aussie CAD? Yo.
Hey Ryan, can you zoom back out to the what is it, the weekly chart?
Yep.
Weekly. All right. Yeah. So when you, I mean, this is a key level zoom out just a little bit more, Ryan. Right. Just a key level, right? Prices come in and double bottom. Those are opportunities there. Okay, that we have to be on high alert for, that we're paying attention to.
Yeah.
Top down analysis is important, right? And you're getting a reaction off that level, right? Which is telling you that there's a lot of people eyeing that level, right? That they're coming into major lows, a lot of these pairs. So while there's been a lot of downside pressure on them, they're coming into key levels. In this case, key support. Right. So it shouldn't surprise us that we see a reaction at this level.
Yep.
Yep. So
yeah,
just wanted to reiterate that, right? That we do it the top down analysis for a reason.
Gotta zoom out. Then he says, get outside the frame. Right? See the full picture. It's key. It's key, right? These key levels coming in line with key Fibonacci levels on the daily and the 4-hour time frame, new AB boundaries, right? It all plays together. Any questions on the Aussie CAD? No? All right. Benny, did you have any key ones that you got your eyes on that you want to pop into before I go through all the Aussies?
Oh man, I was and I couldn't get a lot of stuff posted over the week. I continued just to have problems, but eventually it came around. I had the internet issue, but also I think I'm just due for a new laptop, man.
Oh,
to be honest.
okay.
Yeah, but just fundamentally, right? Just what we know, what's going on with the Swiss. So trading a lot of things against the Swiss, pound Swiss, New Zealand Swiss, key lows that were on the pound dollar, pound CAD, so multiple.
Okay.
We know that the Swiss and the yen are laggards. We know there's a possibility, a lot of pressure that's on the euro to do something, which is why President Lagarde speaking today is important. So you got the euro coming into lows. We know that it's eventually going to work to parity. So that was a position that I took a shot on. The euro USD small position, pound dollar. So it's a lot of them.
For sure. Sure.
that we could take a look at.
All right, so let's take a look at the euro dollar from a weekly perspective. Right, and then we'll run through the euros. From a weekly perspective, right? Price pushed down to this 104 level with a monthly low, right? Monthly low here. Okay. That's where we're sitting. And now we're getting this reaction that's pushed to the upside this week, right? So we go to the daily. Let me see what that looks like. So from a fib perspective, new AB boundary, shallow retracement, 118, 127 zone, price pushed down, right? Didn't make it to the D extension on the daily. Now we're getting this reversal and this push to the upside, right? Strong press here. We also have the dollar retracing, right? Got the dollar retracing a bit. So pushing back up to retest some of these levels. We'll see if this speech today gives insight on a further push to the upside, or if we get a turnover and a press back down. Okay. So if we move through to the 4, right? Similar look as the daily, we got a shallow retracement, price pushed down into this 118, 127 zone in line with this monthly support. And now we're getting a push back to the upside. So we're sitting right back at this previous consolidation level, right? This previous zone. And we want to see if we get this continued press, right?
And that's ahead of retail numbers, right?
Oh, yep. Ahead of retail sales numbers as well, right? So if those numbers come in strong for the dollar, we could see this turnover, right? This could just be a retest of the strong break, right? And reversal, right? So we want to see how price responds at this level and how these reports and these news conferences play out, right? So that's what we want to see, is how price responds here at this level. Okay. So go down to the 1. Price is in a sweet spot on the 1, right? New AB boundary, shallow retracement, 118 level, beautiful push to the upside. Got a break of the trend line there. We're sitting at a 618 retracement level. Okay. So, right, if you're looking for those deep retracements, and this is the zone you trade, right, off the 1 hour time frame, that's the opportunity there, right? Add your confirmations in. Okay. So what you'd be looking for here is a swing high and a trend line break, right? If you're looking bearish on this, right? If you're looking for a price to continue to press to the downside, ultimately getting to that parity level that Benny just mentioned, right? If this is going to be the catalyst that turns this over and takes us out of this down retracement zone down to the down push zone, right? This is what we'll be looking for. Okay. Price is moving up into our sweet spot, which we love. And now we want to see if we get a swing high and a trend line break. Okay. So that's the trade set up there, right? Euro USD. Any questions here? As long as price doesn't take out the air, it has no choice but to go your way. Right. So come back into a key level, right? Previous zone of consolidation, deep retracement on the 1, right? And we know overall we have dollar strength. Right. We'll see how President Lagarde's speech comes out today. See if that pressure causes a decision to be made for the euro to step up and make some decisions sooner or become more hawkish in their stance, or if they continue to stand pat on where they are. Right. And we'll also see how those retail sales numbers come out. That could also be a catalyst for this to push back to the downside. Okay. Questions on the Euro USD? No?
Nope.
All right. Cool deal. Take a look at the pound dollar. Pound dollar from a weekly perspective. Price pushed down to this weekly support. we got a slight break, and then we got this reversal here, beginning of the week, right? Pushing higher. Okay. We had unemployment at its lowest ever for the pound, right? Dollar going into a retracement. So we're seeing this push back to the upside here. Okay. After a strong, almost straight down move, right? On this pound dollar on the weekly time frame. So if we drop to the daily, this is what we have. Shallow retracement at 118, 127. We're getting this retracement coming right back into a key level, right? Price taking back a portion of the strong bearish candle, right? That broke this daily support. So we want to see, does this daily level hold, right? Retail sales numbers, we'll see if that turns over and pushes back to the downside, right? Or if those numbers come in short, right? Could we see a continued rise? Okay. But we got this nice strong bearish engulfing candle, right? Engulf the candles before it, right? Strong move. So we'll see if this is just a retest of those candles or if this is the start of a move back to the upside. So we drop down to the 4. There we go. Fib perspective, similar look, right? Similar look. And we said we want to see this press down to these lower levels. New AB boundary, shallow retracement, 118, 127 zone. Price turned over, broke a trend line. Now it's pushing back up, right? Coming back into this B boundary in that previous consolidation zone. So again, this is going to be a key level to watch. Okay, going to be a key level to watch. Do we get a break back lower or do we get a press deeper? Okay. As we continue to move through, excuse me, on the 1, this is our look. This is our look. Shallow retracement, 118, 127 zone. 118, 127 zone. Reversal. Back to the upside. So we're sitting right now at a 50% retracement on the 1, right? Just shy of that 618 level. We want to see, does this level hold and do we get a reversal and a push back down? Okay. Got a nice break of the trend line, so we'll pull that out. And this is what we'll be watching. As price gets into our sweet spot, right? We need a 618 or deeper. Right? Do we get a swing high and trend line break? Okay. We'd love for this to push just a little higher, right? To the top of that range. Let's see if we get that. Okay. If then statements, if price gives us a swing high and a trend line break at a deep retracement level, right? We'll look for the short opportunity. If price breaks through this daily level with a strong bullish candle, right? We'll wait to see if we get a retest and a continuation, right? Or if we get that swing high trend line break and price to continue to the downside. Okay. Like Benny said, those retail sales numbers are going to be important. And speech from the Fed is also going to be key in this situation, right? And see if we get a move on the dollar. Okay. Whoops. So that's the pound dollar. Any questions there?
Nope. Me personally, I'm going to close out before the retail sales number.
Yeah. I took my proper risk already.
Yeah, I'm up off the lows, so this is like I don't want to risk it. I can always make another entry later based on the result, but I definitely don't want to give money back to the market after this play.
Heck no. This is a beautiful move to the upside. 278 pips.
Yep.
All right. From yesterday to today. Beautiful move. All right. If you took it off the low, you're over 300. That would have been last week. All right. But beautiful setup. Beautiful move. Right. Mary says she took this move to the upside. Awesome. Great job, Mary. Great job, Mary. All right. So now we want to see, does this level hold? Do we get a turnover or do we get a continued press higher? Okay.
Mary also made a nice post on the I want to say the NZD CAD 80-20 setup.
In the Facebook group?
Yep.
I didn't get a chance to take a look. We'll pop over and take a look at it. Let's see. NZD CAD. Mary's out here putting in work. Let's clean this up some.
Yep, that's it. Right off the one, it's making a U-turn.
Yep, right there. Nice work, Mary. Shallow retracement of 118, 127 zone. Bang. U-turn, right? Beautiful play. Great job, Mary.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Right. I already made it a U-turn. It's in motion. In motion off your trend line break and retest. You have 78 pips to the 38.2 to be 151. Beautiful move. Beautiful move. Okay. So that's New Zealand CAD. New Zealand CAD on the move to the upside. All right, let's take a look at this Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, right? We pressed down, we broke through this monthly level, right? It's a weekly time frame. Had a key level here, price broke down below, and now we're getting a pullback, right? We said we want to see if we get a breakdown, a continuation, right? Or do we get a reversal out of that level? And we're coming back and we're retesting this level, this candle, right? That took us down below that monthly zone. Okay. So we want to see, does price continue to hold in this zone, right? And is this just a retest of this candle? And then do we get a continued pressure to the downside, or do we get a reversal out of this? Obviously, I'm still strong on the dollar, but we'll see how price responds here, right? We did get a 50% retracement out of that from a weekly perspective. Okay. Drop down to the daily. From daily perspective, on the daily, we already got a 50% retracement. Price was pressing to the downside, broke through the key level. Now we're getting this reversal. So we want to see, does this daily level hold here? Right? This is the last level that it broke through. Okay. It's the last level that it broke through. So we want to see, does this level hold similar to the other dollar pairs, right? Does this level hold and we get a reversal back to the downside, or do we get a breakthrough and a continued rise? Okay, so this daily level is going to be a key one also for us to watch with these retail sales numbers and with Fed Chair Powell speaking this afternoon. Okay, so as we continue to move through on the 4, right, where we're looking at this potential retracement, we did get a wick at that 38.2 level, right? But we're getting this reversal now, right? That would have been your trend line through the lowest point. Swing low, bang, move to the upside. So we're sitting just shy of a 38.2 retracement as we come into this daily level. Here. Okay. So we want to see if that holds. We're getting some indecision now in this 4-hour candle. So again, right, do we get that reversal and push back down to head to the daily D extension, right, which is here? Okay, off the 50% retracement, right? Or do we get a continued rise on the lower time frames? Okay, so that's what we want to see. So that's the 4-hour perspective there. Drop down to the 1. On the 1, we're sitting at a nice deep level here, right? Broke through that level monthly, right in line with the A. So we want to see, right, if this daily level holds. If this daily level holds, right? Previous support, resistance here, resistance here. Okay. So on the 1, we're sitting at an 8.6 retracement. If price turns over and presses down, this 1-hour D extension is 118, isn't far from that daily D extension. Okay. So this would be the zone we're looking for price to continue to if we get this turnover and press down. Okay. So that's what we want to see. So we got to break these trend lines to the upside. Beautiful move there. Okay. So now we want to see swing high trend line break and a move back to the downside. Okay, so that's the Aussie dollar. Any questions there? It's a beautiful play to the upside. Now we'll see if we get this move back down. No? Okay. Cool deal. New
Yeah, look at
Zealand. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead. You're going right in the direction I was thinking. You're good.
New Zealand dollar.
Yeah, and the NZD JPY as well.
Yep. New Zealand dollar. This is our 1 hour chart, right? Broke through this key level on the daily. I'll zoom back and take a look at it from a higher time frame perspective, right? Broke through, retested, pushed down, coming back to retest again in line with another trend line. So we'll see if that reaction occurs there and continue press to the downside. All right. So I'm gonna pull this out. We're gonna drop back to the weekly. Okay, clean this up a little bit. There we go. All right, so from a weekly time frame perspective, right? We broke some key levels. Broke through that monthly level, broke through this daily level. Now we're coming back to retest, right? This was a daily level here, okay? We had another previous daily level, right? They got broken back here, right? That we came back to. Okay, that's an old daily level there. So we want to see, okay? Daily support there, we broke through it, right? And we came back to it. So now we want to see, does this resistance level hold, right? Or do we continue to press higher? Again, New Zealand dollar. Or, right, do we get that turnover and continue to press to the downside? Okay. My bad. Yep. So that's the daily. I'm sorry. That's the weekly time frame. My apologies. It's a weekly zone there. Okay. Previous weekly zone. So if we drop to the daily, right, this is that look off the high. Okay. Map our fib from the highs. So what we got, right? So we got a nice deep 618 retracement off this last daily fib, right? Matching daily extension is the 1618. So we're looking for this level, right? Strong break of this daily level, push down, pull back, could be coming back to retest that level. And similar to the other dollar pairs, right? Does that level hold and do we get that turnover and continue to the downside? Okay. So that's on the daily. Drop to the 4. Right. Let's see. Yep, there we go. All right. So here on the 4, we got a new AB boundary, shallow retracement, pushed down into that previous weekly zone, and we're pushing back up now, right? So if the shallow retracement holds, this 118, 127 zone, right, comes right in line with that daily D extension. Okay, right in line with that daily D extension. Let's do this too. All right, take a look at this. What time we got? All right. Let's come back to the top. Run our trend lines on this. So then bring this one down. Right. So this is where we're at. Right. Strong momentum to the downside. We're coming up against a trend line and this daily daily resistance, right? 4-hour trend line, daily resistance level. Okay. So a lot of times when we have these key levels in conjunction with trend lines, right? A lot of times you'll get a retest and a push down. So we'll see if that occurs here. Whoops. Okay. So that's what we want to see there. Okay. So that's the 4-hour perspective, push down into the 118 and 127 zone, and then we'll see what kind of reaction we get from there. Okay. So as we continue moving through, press to the 1. All right, that's a trend line there. Okay, I'll run a fib from the high here. Just that. All right, so here, all right, on the 1, shallow retracement, 118, 127 zone, right? Similar to New Zealand CAD, and we're trying to press back up. Okay, if we do push higher here on the 1, why it's spazzing out. There we go. If we do push higher here on the 1, right, could push right into that 38.2 level in line with that daily resistance and trend line. Okay. And then we'll see if we get that push to the downside. So sit tight, be patient here. This one would not come for me. This one wouldn't meet my rules, right, into that sweet spot. But, right, we do have daily resistance trend line. If we get that rejection, right, that's a good combination. We'll see if we get that continued push to the downside there. Okay. Questions on the New Zealand dollar?
No, but I think it's amazing how these dollar pairs are pushed to the levels they're pushing to right ahead of the report.
Right ahead of the report. Right ahead of the report.
Ryan, can you do the fib up, going up from the sub fib?
Yep.
And then when
Right in line with that D extension, shallow retracement.
yeah, my down fib looks like it gave us a almost 50% retracement. So I'll have to go back and
Where'd you run it from?
I started it. Let me see what the line. 68100 around there.
So you started the fib here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the difference, right? I started from the beginning of the move.
Okay. I think I brought down my daily
Oh, okay.
on the 4-hour.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Gotcha. That would make sense then. Whoops. If you brought those down. Yep. Yeah. If you brought those down, that would make sense. Any other questions here on the 1? These are sub fibs to the upside, those smaller waves, right? Shallow retracement. Prices pushing to the D extension there, right? Push to the D extension there. Okay. Take a look at this New Zealand yen. This New Zealand yen is interesting. Is also used as a risk on, risk off indicator, right? So you can look at this, get an idea of where we could stand from a risk on, risk off perspective. Hold on, let me reset my charts. Something's happening. There we go. All right. But New Zealand yen also used as a risk on, risk off indicator. So give you an idea of where we sit from a risk appetite perspective, right? It's one of those indicators. So here on the weekly, we had this press up. We got a turnover. We'll change this to a weekly level. I don't know why my chart is freezing. 1 second. There we go. All right, so we'll change that to a weekly level. Okay. Broke through this previous weekly resistance, strong bearish candle. Now we're pulling back and we're getting this retest. All right. Similar to those dollar crosses. Broke through a key level, coming back and retest. Right. So as we go to the daily, this is what that looks like. Strong push down. Now we're getting a pullback, coming back to a key level. Okay. Coming back to a key level. So we can look at this a couple ways. If we run a fib from the low to the high, right? Look at it from this perspective. New AB boundary. We got just shy of a 618 retracement. Price is pulling back. Okay, so that's from a longer term perspective. We know the fundamental side of things. We got the war, we got interest rate conversations, we got retail sales coming in today with Fed Chair Powell speaking, right? So this could, right? We want to see how this previous weekly level holds, right? But again, if that level holds, this could be just a pullback for this down move, pullback, and then a continuation, right? And over the long term, we could be in a space where, right, ultimately we take this daily fib out, right? So we want to watch that and see. Again, these key levels are going to be important for us to follow, right? So there's one perspective we can look at this from, right? Looking at it longer term, from the lows of 2020 up to the high. The other way we can take a look at this is from the top down, right? Looking at just this last move to the downside, right? So if we go that route, new AB boundary, we got a 50% retracement, D extension was hit, right? So once this daily candle closes, actually no, right? We got a new swing low here, 2 candles to the right, 2 candles to the left. So this would be our new fib on this move to the downside, okay? This is our fib on a move to the downside. With that, right, we're sitting at a 50% retracement, coming in line with this key level, right? So again, the question, does this key level hold, right? And then do we get a continuation? Or does that level get broken and do we push higher, deeper into that zone? Okay, so that's what we want to watch. That's what we want to watch. So that's from a daily perspective. Okay, so as we continue to move down, the 4, right? We'll look at it from both perspectives again. I believe this one gets taken out. No, it doesn't. Another deep retracement here, right? So here we got shallow retracement, 118, 127, and now we're pressing down, 50% retracement, and we're getting a pullback, right? And we're getting a pullback. This is that pullback that we saw on the daily time frame, right? Coming right back into that key level, okay? So if we flip this, just like we did on the daily, and look at it from the top to the bottom, okay? We had a shallow retracement, price pushed down, didn't quite get to the D extension off of this move. We're coming back to retest this level that we broke through, okay? So again, that key level is going to be important for us to follow. Going to be important for us to follow, okay? All right, so now as we go down to the 1, get these out. Here we're going to run from the top to the bottom. Those smaller waves have gotten taken out, multiple levels. So this is our fib on the 1, right? Similar to those dollar pairs, higher time frames, we got some shallow retracements happening. On the lower time frame, as we get here, right, we got a deep retracement occurring. So now it's just a question of, does that level hold, right? If that level holds, we could start to get, like I said, that deeper retracement off of that long-term fib, right? And a press down going towards the A boundary on the daily and the 4, okay? So this is where we sit here, looking for a potential move to the downside if those retail sales numbers come in strong for the dollar. And if Fed Chair Powell gives some indication in regards to potential policy changes come next month, right? So we'll map our trend lines to the top. Map the trend line to the top like that. We're sitting at a 786 retracement right now. Weekly level is there, right? So do we get push up to the weekly level, swing high, trend line break, and then do we get a continuation to the downside? All right, so this is what we're watching here on the daily time, I mean on the 1 hour time frame for the NZD JPY. Any questions here?
No.
No?
Nope.
Cool deal. Any questions on any of these dollar pairs that we covered today? Or this yen cross?
Nope. Did we take a look at the dollar Swiss, Ryan? Or no?
Oh, nope. I didn't take a look at the dollar. So let's look
Yeah.
at it real quick before we hop out.
Yeah, just to, so we'll be good on the dollar pairs just ahead of the
This is the
report.
dollar CAD on the one. Sorry, I forgot about these two. Right. So this is the
That's okay.
dollar CAD on the one, right? Press down, shallow retracement, price pushing into the 118, 127 zone. Okay. Trend line there. Right. So that's the key level there. We'll see if we get this turnover and let's push back to the upside in favor of the dollar there. Okay. Dollar Swiss. Dollar Swiss, 1 second. All right, let's pop back out to the weekly time frame. Weekly, we came into this monthly resistance level there. Zoom in a little bit. There we go. All right, came into this level, getting this pressed down, coming back, potentially coming to retest this last monthly level that we just broke through. Okay, so we're pressing down there. Come to the daily time frame. That's that candle. That's that press down. All right. So we zoom out, take a look at it from a fair perspective. We don't have a swing high yet. Right? Don't have a swing high yet. So we don't have a new fib just yet. Right? If that stays the high, that will be the new fib. Okay, but we need to wait for a swing high to form here. This is a strong bearish candle to the downside. We'll see if this monthly level holds here as we move into these conversations. Okay, see if that level holds and see if we get a push there. Okay, as we go down to the 4, clear that out. Down to the 4. Okay. Here we are. AB boundary, consolidation, press down, coming into a 618 retracement in line with this monthly level. Okay. So on the 4, we'll see if that level holds. And we get that push to the matching D extension there. Okay. So that's where we sit on the 4. Drop to the 1. Zoom out. Similar look. Okay. So you want to see, right? Coming into a key level, just like the other pairs, right? Coming into a key level, see if that level holds and if we get a flip, all right? So drop your trend lines from the top to the bottom and we wait. And we wait. Okay. Any questions here on this dollar Swiss? No? All right. Benny, anything before we close out, bro?
No, sir. Great session. So we've seen all the dollar pairs ahead of retail sales. So we'll see what happens. That's at 8:30, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So awesome session. Look forward to seeing everybody tonight, 9:00 Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, sir. Appreciate everybody showing up this morning. Benny will be back with us tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Asian session. You guys have an awesome day. We'll see you later. Peace.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.